Alright, just in case you want to know what $100 looks like, let's just try and do some normal maintenance here on a vehicle. And let's see what we have here. Wow, $33 and 1/3 cents each. Actually, it's like $10 shipping and handling. So that shipping and handling brought it up to like $99, but you know, got a oil filter, fuel filter, cabin air filter, $100. So why do I go with genuine Volvo parts? Well, because at the end of the day, there's really not that much savings. I mean, of course, this is a 2009, so as you know, as a car ages, the price of parts go down, even from the OEM manufacturers like Volvo. However, you know, if I was to buy this on Amazon, off-brand, whatever, I can't count Prime because that's kind of weird, but if I paid for shipping and handling like I did here at the Volvo Parts web store, then gosh, I'd only save like $5 or $6 if I bought these 3 items. So why risk inferior products for $5 when you can get genuine Volvo and you know you're getting good quality parts? At least they have a QC department. You know, things can go wrong. However, you know, maintenance parts like this, I definitely would go Volvo. Also, the parts are just much easier to match up on your vehicle. I mean, much easier. The part numbers are very easy to see and detect. They'll fit. So anyway, so I'm going to do 3 separate videos, but they're all going to start off with this segment. I'll do an oil change, I'll do a fuel filter change, and I'll do a AC cabin filter change. So in this video, I'm going to do a fuel filter change. Now, I change my fuel filters every 2 years, and I don't drive as much as I used to. I used to drive between 10 and 20,000 miles a year, sometimes more. But typically they're, you know, literally between 10 and 20,000 miles, about 15,000 miles a year. Nowadays, I go about 10,000 miles a year, but still, it's a time factor. These aren't as bad as the Chryslers. I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and the Chrysler fuel filters would rust on the inside. I cut one open a couple of times and displayed it, and it was just packed with rust debris. So the way this goes in, the fuel comes in, goes on the outside of the filter. Let's say this is the fuel filter in here. The fuel come in, go to the outside of the filter, be filtered, and come out the inside. And that's how the oil filter is going to work too. So in this video, we're going to install a fuel filter 30636704 on a Volvo XC90. It's a R design with a V8, but that really doesn't matter. I'll list all of the vehicles that this fuel filter fits, which is going to be quite a few. So you can look in the description for that. So the fuel filter is easy to find. It's on the passenger side, right in front of the rear wheel. Alright, let's get some lumens and look underneath there. Okay, it's real easy to find. It's just one bolt holding it on, and the fuel lines are very easy to take off. You just depress the centerpiece right in here. If it's covered with mud and dirt, you might want to clean it off first, because that gray square area, let me zoom in. You want to get your pliers, let's say, and just squeeze that in on both sides and it'll just slide right off. Same thing for the back side, just take your pliers and squeeze the little pad there, the little gray area, and it'll just pop right off. Now this is a bleed screw. I don't know, maybe you can pressure test the system, see if the pump is working with that. I've never had to deal with it, so I really don't know if that's what it's for or not. So I've just changed the fuel filter, popped off the fuel lines, changed it, end of story. Okay, I like to take off the fuel lines before I take the bolt out and change the filter, so let's do that. Alright, I have my pliers. Typically I like to expand them. I don't like to have them when they're compressed like that. It goes a little bit too wide. It's just easier to expand them a little bit before I use them. All right. Now for the back side, it's the same thing. It's going to be a little bit hidden, so let me get in there and then, but it's the same thing. So let me get in the way of the camera and disconnect that. Okay, I got it loose. I'm going to pull it off. Kind of burped the system there. I'll just catch the gas that's running out. But it's not spraying out. Alright, so some gas came out of the filter, and that's where it came from. So now I'm going to take a 10mm socket and remove the filter. Alright. Well, that's on there good. Here, let me get my other tool. Alright, let's get this out of here. Alright, I like to label my filters. So this filter was installed in April of 2019. It's now May of 2021, so that's 2 years. Also had 81,000 miles on it. Now I have 100,000 miles on it. I think 101, I'll go look. And write it on the new filter. Also the bracket and hardware is kind of rusted up, so I'm gonna clean that up. Might even paint it. I have a bunch of paint left over I want to use up. So I'll just clean that rust off of there, and then we'll reassemble. Okay, before I finish cleaning up and hit it with paint, there are a couple of things I did want to point out. So when this is closed up and is in the vehicle, you'll notice there's an alignment tab right here. So when the bolt goes in, you know, it's going to be oriented in a certain way. There's a slot that tab goes into. So you need to put that back together correctly. And I guess you can't put it in upside down. That's what's keeping you from putting it in upside down. And then the other thing is, notice that there's a stop right here. There's a stop tab. So when you put your new filter in, see, it hits that stop tab and it's captured like that. Actually, yeah, that's up. So it's captured like that, and it puts the filter exactly where it needs to be. And I wanted to show you that before I got under the car, because it's a pain in the butt to do it under the car, or to film those details under the car. Alright, the next thing I do on all of my filters, at a minimum, is write the date on there. May of 21. And I also like to write the mileage on there too. 6 0 0. Oh no, there's another 0. Yeah, 106,000 miles. Alright. Okay, so if you have a JOB, the next part is what your boss is going to call challenging. Fun stuff. Anyway, there's your little stop right there. Your fuel filter is going to go in up to the stop. Then when you're under the car, reaching up, you have to push the bottom up. You have to get this tab in the alignment hole. Then you have to get the bolt through both pieces. Squeeze it together. You'll be pushing up. Get it into the hole to start it. Maybe get a few twists on it. Get a few threads going by hand so that you know you're not cross-threaded. And once you get a couple by hand, you can zip it in there. Then put on the fuel lines, not before. Alright, I got the two tabs pressed together. Just going to go in right here. There's the tab that's up. It's going to go into the body. Then hopefully we can get a couple of threads started here. See how much fun I'm having? Okay, once I am sure that the threads are going in the correct direction, correctly started and not cross-threaded, I'll just secure the bolt. Now I can pull off my ends. Am I on camera? Yeah. Just clicks on. Make sure you hear the click. Make sure you're 100% sure that this goes on all the way. Alright, in the back, take the protective seal off. Put the back on. Again, make sure I hear the click. A little quieter. Double check, triple check, quadruple check, check, check. All right, all done. Wasn't that fun? Okay, it wasn't too bad. Thank you for watching.